So he came home and he was like, babe, I lost my job. I'm like, all right, cool. So a month later, like the bills, it was time for the bills or whatever, and I'm like, the bills due, babe, or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm not working. And I'm just, in a month, like, it's all kind of hustles. You could have been doing something or whatever. So I told him, I said, look, if I pay these bills, are you going to pay me the money back? This man had the nerve to tell me, why should I pay my wife back for paying our bills? I told this man from day one, my money is my money and his money is our money. Why should I spend my money paying the bills? Like, no, he should have paid me back. So that's when I decided, like, I can't be with this man no more. So I had text his homeboy. Like, we all cool. I text his homeboy or whatever. We went together. We left. I met up with him. And we was chilling, we was drinking or whatever. And I started venting. I started getting emotional. One thing led to the next. I did not purposely mean to do what I did with his friend. But things happen. Like, y'all understand what I'm going through. So, his friend ended up giving me some money or whatever. And he was like, babe, look, don't worry about it. Handle whatever you got to handle. Like, his friend was every single thing I desire in a man. Like, everything I desire in a man. And, ain't nobody trying to hear my side. Ain't nobody trying to hear me.
It's payback time.
Here's another reason why men need to be careful who they choose as a mate. But sometimes you will never know. The signs will be there, but sometimes you will never know until you're in a peak situation. It's crazy. I could also say that the typical thing that people say online, this is why men need to get their money up, because women want rich men. And if you don't have it, they'll cheat on you for a rich man or whatever. But even that is not really a solid excuse for this behavior, because one day you could be up, the next day you could be down. You could be up, but all your money is tied up in investments and stuff, and you might be short on bills for a month or whatever it is. Anything could happen in life, right? So you would want a woman that, even if she came in wanting a successful man, she's still willing to be the helper. And if she needs to put up her money, she'll be willing to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can all agree that men are meant to be the providers, but we also have our women as helpmates. And that doesn't mean 50-50. That doesn't necessarily mean the woman has to be paying, but it will be nice that if you do reach a low point, or you run into something that you didn't expect, then you would hope that your missus could help or whatever, especially if she works as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's an unfair statement to say the man's money is for us and your money is just for you. That's a selfish mindset, and God save us from women like that. And on top of that, she slept with his best friend. So this guy could be going through anything. He lost his job. Already, losing your job could affect your mental health. It could be very stressful. So you're now dealing with that, and then your missus wants to spite you for it. She didn't say he walked out of his job. She didn't say anything about him, choosing not to work. She said that he lost his job. So I don't really know the backstory there, but I know if someone loses their job, your job as a partner is not to go and spite them. Do you know what I'm saying? And then another thing I would say to that is, this is why a lot of people say you got to be careful when it comes to letting your wife or missus get familiar with your friends. Yeah? And it's not even that it's an insecure thing, I would say. I think it's more about wisdom, because if your friends take a liking to your missus, yeah, even though they're meant to be loyal, we all know women could be men's weakness. If you have a baddie, yeah, a lot of men will want a piece of that. And we all know, even in the Bible, it says that a man's downfall can come from a woman. Like, it's hard for men to resist temptation when it comes to women. That's why a lot of women brought down men in the Bible. Which means this is now was to stick it on your friend, it will take a lot for them. They will have to have a next level of loyalty, which I will, like any friend that is that loyal, I respect it. But I also know that temptation is a madness, especially when it comes to women, especially if there's a baddie in front of them. So to save all of that, keep your woman away. But on the other hand, yeah, you should have confidence. We hope that we choose the right woman and have confidence in her that she would never do such a thing. But you know what? Sometimes when women act out of emotions, or sometimes they just don't think straight. And I don't even understand how this woman here could punish the man because he lost his job, just as I stated. But she was obviously a wrong one from the jump, and maybe she always liked the friend. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. That guy should just thank God he found out who she is during hard times, because that's also a good test of love. What is your partner like during hard times? He found out. Now he can move on, sort his life out, focus on himself, and get back on track and find another woman, man.
I've been dating him since 2015. I met him when he was 21. 21? And we had our first kid like a year after 2016. And we had another kid in 2017.
Wait for it.
And I just recently found out that this was my son that I gave up for adoption.
What did you say?
I just recently found out that this was my son that I gave up for adoption.
Huh? Let me just grab my stuff off the bus.
Wow, that is absolute madness. Yeah. Now, when it comes to giving up children for adoption, I get it, and I understand that certain people are not in the right place to raise a child, and for whatever reasons and situations happen where maybe they weren't expecting a child, or maybe a child was forced onto them. So adoption is actually better than not being able to raise a child and making that child suffer under you. You know what I mean? Adoption might allow them to have a better family, people that are more equipped and ready. So I have nothing against that, but we also got to look at the bigger picture and what could come out of sending your kid off for adoption. And not everyone will fall into this, don't get it twisted, because some people just know who their blood is, yeah, but this is something that could happen. That's one. But what I would even say, that's why it's very important, first of all, if we can abide by God's law and just wait till we're ready and married before we have children, we would escape a lot of problems like this, a lot of madness, a lot of sick stuff like this, right? That's number one. And even if you can't do that, this is why contraception, being protected, is also important. But like I said, there are scenarios where those things can't happen, like, you know, like SA and stuff. So I won't hold anyone responsible for being SA'd, because that's not your fault. And if you choose to go full term with a pregnancy after that, I get it. Like some people will never do the A word, do you know what I mean? And that's fine. So that's the only viable excuse for that. But other than that, be trying to save yourself for marriage, or at least, if you can't do that, protection. Because look what can happen. That's number one. Number two, this is also consequences of older women going for young boys. Listen, aunties and grandmas, there are uncles that are let me not even say that, because certain uncles are now saying that they want young girls too, so it's mad. But this is one of the consequences of going for younger men, yeah? Especially if you've put a kid up for adoption. These things should be on your radar, yeah? It's actually sick. It's not even like pleasant, it's sick. It's so sick.
How many children do you have?
84.
84.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. 70 wife my.
17 wives.
Yes.
That's a lot of wives.
Yeah.
I have one wife, which is enough.
Yeah, he
can understand you.
Maybe.
Wow.
Swear down, my man has 17 wives and 84 kids and is on crutches. My man has been clotting too much. I don't even believe that's anything other than clotting too much. Different positions. The amount of energy he's been using. Yeah, man. As appealing as this sounds, being able to have multiple women and whatever, having a missus, I just feel like, how do you deal with all of that? How do you deal with all of that? Because yes, having different women is great, yeah, but women come with a lot. I think the only way that can work is, one, if you can afford it, you can look after all those women, and two, if all those women have an understanding, which I think in this kind of culture or country, they'll probably have an understanding. But I could imagine there'll also be fights, because humans are humans. Do you get what I'm saying? So I wonder what that looks like. But wow, 17 wives, 84 kids.
Bruh.
84 kids.
Bruh, chill.
84 kids.
Hello guys, it's Jovan, and you know what time it is? Disco time!
Like, that's a mini school. My man has a school in his yard. He might as well start his own school. You don't send 84 kids to school. You hire a teacher to come in. And I wonder, do they all live with each other? Probably not. Madness. Madness on this damn internet. Subscribe, people, like, and comment.